Hey guys, welcome to today's reading. Today we are going to be tuning into your next relationship. So we're going to see what you can expect in your next relationship, your next boyfriend or girlfriend, what is going to be happening for you. We're getting into all of it, and today we have a selection of different paintings for you to choose from. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And basically you're going to see which of these paintings is sticking out to you, calling your name, drawing your attention in towards it, and then as soon as you make up your mind, just scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description and jump right into your pile. By the way, I always recommend you choose your pile based on the energy. So see which of the paintings is just energetically magnetizing you to it, calling your name, drawing your attention in. Not necessarily the painting you find the prettiest or the one you would purchase in like an art show or something, but the one that is just energetically calling to you the same way you decide on other pick a card readings. By the way, if you like how I read tarot and you want to see more of it, then be sure to head to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted a reading all about what people fantasize about you. Also, another fun, spicy one, which is what is your sexiest quality, and another one about what you're carrying with you from past lifetimes. So we have a mix of some fun readings, also some deep spiritual readings, but there are over 85 exclusive readings you'll only get access to when you sign up for Patreon. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos, so they always get posted over there first. If all that sounds good to you and you're interested in signing up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description and join me over on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want a half hour or a full hour long session, whether you want me to pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, or have a little mix, you can really customize your reading so that it's right for you, and you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So that's about all I have to say, guys. Now, if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need, but we're going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey, pile one, welcome to your reading. So let's get into your cards and see what is going to be happening with your next relationship. What is happening with pile number one's next relationship? Okay, so we got the Five of Wands. We got the Devil card. We got the Nine of Swords. Queen of Cups. What's going to be happening with pile number one's next relationship? Knight of Pentacles. So this relationship may be coming in to really teach you how to like live life, possibly also how to undo traumas or to work through shadow work. I think sometimes, you know, relationships come in for the purpose of teaching us about ourselves, about our habits. And sometimes someone comes in that you feel so intensely about. Maybe you feel such a draw to them, such a level of chemistry that you can't help but kind of fall head over heels and be very drawn to them. But it may not be like a smooth sailing relationship. With the Devil card, the Five of Wands, the Nine of Swords, this relationship could be a very passionate one that is coming in to kind of teach you about yourself. And I think this is the thing, is like, so much of the time we can take it as, oh my gosh, this person triggered me, so they're evil, so they're wrong. But sometimes someone comes in to teach you about yourself, to teach you about your triggers, about things you need to grow with. A lot of times these kinds of connections are actually from past lifetimes, soulmates, twin flames, and this person may come in to teach you to have personal growth, or to also to teach you to be more engaged in the world. If you have been in hermit mode for a while, if you haven't been putting yourself out there, if you've been emotionally closed off, this person could just crack you open like a walnut. You could have such a passion with this person, feel so drawn to them, feel like this intense magnetization towards them, like they are just pulling you in and you can't stay away. And a lot of times these can be South Node or Saturnian connections. So if you look up your synastry, you might have a lot of Venus Saturn aspects, or a lot of Venus South Node aspects, or heavy South Node in general. But it could be that this person is coming in to teach you those lessons, and it may be that both of you guys just kind of can't stay away from each other. You can't get enough, but it could be a lot of passion. There could be a lot of heat, and there also could be some fighting, conflict, arguing. And again, I actually don't necessarily, I think a lot of people sometimes get upset and they're like, well, what do you mean this sounds toxic? And I totally understand if someone has that perspective, or they're like, oh, that relationship is not for me. Obviously, you have free will, so you can choose what resonates with you, what kind of relationship you want to have and align with. But I will say, I think I heard a marriage counselor talking about married couples and saying that actually the ones that fight a lot, at first especially, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's almost like you're keeping that communication open and you're adjusting. Both of you guys are adjusting your levels of like what you expect and what they expect, and you're coming to eventually, hopefully, a compromise. But that initial fighting isn't necessarily a bad thing, or just, oh my God, a red flag, the way sometimes we may look at it now. Sometimes it actually can help to kind of get you both on the same page, or establish expectations and keep a line of communication open. So I almost feel like with this person, with your next relationship, yeah, they could trigger you a little bit, and you guys could have a very passionate off and on. Maybe some of you guys are already dealing with this, and this is just going to continue. If this already resonates with you as like, oh my gosh, this sounds like my ex, or this sounds like my situationship, or whatever, that could be just a relationship that is going to continue. And I know some of you guys get so frustrated. I can't control the message. I'm just the messenger. So don't get mad at me, please. But I know it can be frustrating when you feel like you're trapped in a cycle. But I will say that, you know, at the time of the end of the cycle, that's usually when it will end. When it's supposed to end, when it's supposed to leave your life, trust it will. So maybe thinking about, what can I learn? What can I take away from this situation? I feel like this person is really going to allow you, though, like if you are a woman and you want to be in your feminine energy, this person may really allow you to step into that with that Queen of Cups energy. Or if you are dating women, maybe this person is very in their feminine energy. This woman is very in her feminine energy, and she's very like emotional and receptive and kind of psychic. And with the Knight of Pentacles, this could be this could be this other person. So they could be an earth sign, which is like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And being the Knight of Pentacles, this could be someone that's not fully mature yet, not someone that's fully grown up and fully alchemized all their lessons. But I am hearing a message that this person is trying. So if you think that they don't mean anything, or that they are just saying whatever, just know that this person is somehow trying. This is for those of you guys who may be currently dealing with this person. And I do feel like if this is just a future energy coming in, that this person wants you to know that they are going to be trying hard. So it's almost like you may need to give them a little patience. You may need to be a little bit more open to learning. And I know sometimes it's like, oh, this sounds like a nightmare. I wanted to hear that like we're just going to have a beautiful, happy connection and everything's going to be great. But I think sometimes, again, the soul work you do, maybe it's painful, maybe it's hard, but it really does pay off in the end. And I feel like this connection is really teaching you that. With the Devil card, that's always an opportunity for growth, for powerful breaking through old habits and traumas and bonds and ruts of behavior that we get stuck into. The Devil card is very much a dysfunctional card, that is kind of situations we get trapped into, or behaviors that we feel trapped within. And so I feel like this relationship is really teaching you kind of your own power and your own autonomy and your own strength. And it's actually, I'm hearing from Spirit, a really beautiful opportunity for you to build, because I'm hearing that this person really will care about you and love you so much and almost be obsessed with you. And they're telling me their intention never was to hurt you or to be cruel to you. So if there is pain that comes through with this future relationship, just know that that's not what this person is trying to do, or it's not their intention. And sometimes the pain can be necessary, just like I always mention. But when you you scrape your knee when you're a little kid and your mom puts on, like, what someone told me was, I didn't know, iodine. I just knew it as like the orange ointment that my mom would bring out, and it would burn so bad. But that's what you have to do to clean out those wounds. It takes a little bit of pain to get rid of the, the dirt and the germs and whatnot. And so I feel like the same is going for you. Like, this is an opportunity for you to purge. This is an opportunity for you to get rid of old habits. And this person may trigger you very deeply. And often these Saturnian South Node connections, you feel so fated and drawn to this person because Spirit is putting you in your life. And it has to be that much of a connection. It has to be that much of a calling to the person, almost like an addiction to them, in order to get you to stay and continue to do the work and continue to work on yourself. Because if it wasn't that much of a pull, then you'd probably just be like, oh, screw this, I'm leaving. So actually, I feel like this could be a very powerful soulmate new relationship. I feel like it could be a twin flame. It could be super powerful past life connection. And I feel like this person is really going to come into your life to try to heal you. And that is their intention, is to heal you and to help you alchemize. And they may come in very strong with that Ace of Swords. They may be very communicative right off the bat, and also wanting to move things very quickly. Things may move very fast. So they may meet you and immediately, want you to be their girlfriend within a few dates or right away. Or you guys might, sleep together early, or you might end up like you go over to their place for the second or third date, and then you just spend the whole weekend there. And next thing you know, you're kind of moving in, like de facto, even if you still have your old apartment, but you're spending all your time together. There's like a quickness and there's an intensity here that I'm picking up on. It feels like a very instant connection. It's almost like you're skipping the awkward getting to know each other stage and going right into that deep end of intimacy. And it may feel like when you first meet them, there's just an instant rapport, like you guys already know each other. Like you maybe met 5 minutes ago, but you already feel like you know them, or the conversation gets really deep really fast, and there's this instant kind of camaraderie and conversation that just flows between you guys. I feel like this person is very serious about you right away, and they make their intentions very clear right away. And if you have trust issues, or if you're kind of standoffish, you may be the one who's actually a little bit more like, oh, I don't know about this. But I feel like this person comes on very strong and does really care about you. Let's get some song cards for you. Pile number 1. 1,000 Years, Christina Perri. What a romantic song. And again, 1,000 years definitely could be a reference to past lifetimes, right? Because 1,000 years ago was 1,024, right? So you guys may have known each other in like the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, throughout history, the 1900s, the 1800s. You may have a lot of connections and manifested together throughout multiple lifetimes. Lover, Taylor Swift, Something, The Beatles, Talking Body, Tove Lo. I also feel like there's a very intense sexual connection between you guys, I'm not gonna lie. And I often see that with past life twin flame soulmates, because again, it's almost like Spirit knows we gotta give them something to keep them together, because if it was just a regular schmegular run-of-the-mill relationship, they'd probably break up, because there may be fights, there may be toxicity. We got Toxic by Britney Spears. And so whenever, you have that soulmate, there's got to be something really good to keep you doing that work and keep you locked in. And again, I actually think a lot of these kinds of soulmate, again, Saturnian, South Node type relationships, there's a huge opportunity, Plutonian relationships, there's a huge opportunity to alchemize, to change, to grow through them, and to let them make you better. In the same way that Saturn, when it transits over a major part of your chart, yes, it can be really hard and really difficult, but there's also a major opportunity for the deepest growth you could ever do and transformation that brings huge rewards later. And that's what we came to this earth to do, right? We want to alchemize, we want to grow, we want to become reach our biggest potential, spiritually speaking. And so Saturn, as hard as it is that tough teacher that really allows you to do that. And I feel like same with this relationship, like it's pushing your boundaries. It's making you become more almost vivid and alive and more real. Like if you have felt like you were like a shadow of yourself, or if you have felt like you weren't completely living 100%, and maybe you felt like you had other relationships and they weren't that real deep love, this person I feel like is going to really awaken you and really trigger all of that, and it's going to be something that kind of wakes you up a little bit. So we got Something, The Beatles, Talking Body, Tove Lo, I mentioned Lover, Taylor Swift, Can't Deny My Love, Brandon Flowers. And yeah, that's totally the vibe because this song, I mentioned it before, but it has lyrics about basically him, because Brandon Flowers from The Killers wrote it, about his wife and kind of like her traumas and stuff she dealt with growing up. And it's actually a really deep, sweet, emotional song, but it's very Plutonian. It's very, it's not like the sweet part of love and just like sunshine and flowers. It's more the heavy part of when you really love someone and you go into having to deal with your traumas, their traumas. Maybe things were easier at the relationship, but it goes through a valley, it goes through a hard time, and you're kind of having to push yourself to like, how much love can I give to this partner? How can I be a better partner? How can I grow more? And vice versa. And honestly, I feel like that really sums up the vibe here. It's like this relationship is kind of testing you, it's kind of pushing you, but it's actually turning you into a better person and them as well. Harvest Moon, Neil Young. And you guys may feel like you have a mental connection, like this connection on the astral plane that you just can feel each other's energy so deeply. And again, you see that a lot with soulmates. You see that a lot with twin flames. For some of you guys, this could be an existing energy that I know it's disappointing sometimes when someone's like, I was trying to get a future love reading and my ex popped up and took over the reading. And I know it sucks when that happens. And I always want to be able to just channel totally new energy. But if it's an energy that hasn't worked its way out of your life yet and it's still destined to be a part of your energy field and for you to process things with it, then, you know, then spirit might not give you a new relationship to deal with until whatever is kind of channeled out, you know, and that's okay. Like, it's okay to trust the timing of things. I know it can be disappointing, but yeah, for some of you guys, this could be an existing relationship that's just definitely not ready to leave your energy field. This person could be thinking of you all the time, and that's why like they're able to take over the reading. Sunday morning with No Doubt could indicate a breakup. This could be a relationship that, I'm not gonna lie, could be off and on. It could be like you make up, you break up, you make up, you break up, or there could just be one big breakup and then you come back together. But I feel like this person really does care about you. And like, we got Something by the Beatles, and the line from that, of course, the famous lyrics are, something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. And it's a really beautiful love story about how, well, you know, how much he loved his partner at the time, Patty Boyd. And I feel like for you guys, there is this deep connection and reverence for each other, and almost like deep soul understanding that you guys both have for each other. So even if at times things do get a little toxic and it's hard, I feel like this connection goes so much past like a normal, just like, oh yeah, we're dating and yeah, I like them and we have a lot of mutual friends and maybe other reasons why a lot of people date. This is like the real deal. So yeah, a lot of people would love a love like this, even if sometimes it's a little painful or triggering. I want to get into some more tarot. I'm going to actually clear this space so that we can pull more cards and have an open space. So Spirit, what can you tell us about pile number one's next relationship? What can you tell us about pile number one's next relationship? Getting more tarot for pile one. What can you tell us about pile number one's next relationship? And I love doing double tarot because I feel like it really gets into like what cards are we going to see multiple times, you know? Because if we get a double, that's such confirmation. Page of Pentacles. So this person could definitely be an earth sign. Like I said, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or you could be an earth sign. Yeah. We got the Two of Cups, Six of Cups, the Hermit. And of course, the card you guys get as a double is the freaking Five of Wands, which is a card of conflict. It's not exactly a smooth sailing, everything happy card. And like I said, that's really the vibe I've been picking up on. That was the first card that came out with you guys for the whole reading, and it came out again. And Spirit is saying this relationship is also going to teach you how to manage conflict a lot more, how to be more patient, how to be a better communicator. I feel like this, you got the Nine of Wands and or the Nine of Swords, and now you got the Ten of Swords. So again, could be a painful, triggering relationship. And I almost want to count that as a double because the card meanings are pretty similar, even though they're slightly different. and the Ten of Swords is the culmination, the Nine of Swords is leading up to it. So they do have different meanings, but they're so similar. I almost want to count it, like I said, as a double. Yeah, I feel like there is a deeply spiritual component to this, and you guys have definitely known each other before with that Six of Cups coming out. This could be someone from your past or, again, past lifetimes. And I feel like for you, again, a major theme, we got the Ace of Swords with you, Four of Swords, Ten of Swords, Nine of Swords. It feels like communication is a major thing you're learning, is how to communicate more with the Hermit. Maybe some of you guys haven't been the best communicators, or you're very in your own energy at times, and you're not necessarily trying to be like warm and fuzzy with someone and open up your world to them. And you might be sometimes closed off, or maybe when things get hard in a relationship, you tend to just be like, okay, bye, see ya. And this is why this, Spirit is bringing in this kind of depth of connection where you feel so strongly about a person, is because they're kind of pushing you to be more patient, to be more communicative, to be more understanding, to work on yourself instead of running off at the first sign of trouble. And I'm not saying you should put up with any like toxic behavior, but I just think sometimes we say, I'm not going to put up with this or whatever. And there's some kind of a soul lesson in it. There's something for us to go through. There's some transformation that's happening. And yeah, that process can be painful. It's kind of like if you redo a house, you renovate a house, you got to gut it first. And it sucks. And that process is not fun. And if you didn't know what was happening, you'd probably walk past on the sidewalk and be like, oh my God, they destroyed that house. They ruined it. What the heck? But of course, that's part of the process. And if you see that gutted house with like the walls smashed down, you assume, oh, they're going to rebuild it into something better, newer, more modern, and probably with better appliances and fixtures and plumbing and electric. So you kind of trust that process, right? And I feel like that's kind of a little bit what's happening here, is like there's a need to trigger. There's a need to activate you, because maybe you've been in a bit of a safety zone for a while, which is totally fine. But, sometimes when we get into like a really long, prolonged Hermit energy, we can get very stuck in our own ways. We can get very like used to our own energy and kind of not as open or receptive to someone else. And so sometimes it's something Spirit does want to kind of crack us open a little bit and push us out of our zone and push us out of the safety that we have been living in into something a little bit more bold and scary, but also that makes us feel more alive. I want to get some of these cards. Can you tell me about pile number one's next relationship? What's going to be happening with pile number one's next relationship? Come together. Beautiful romantic card. And this deck does not have that many romantic cards. Protecting treasure. I feel like this person is very protective of you, really does care about you. Stuck in the mud. Details. They are telling me you guys will definitely have at least one big breakup or falling out, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. And again, it's reminds me of how that marriage person counselor on TikTok was saying that if you can make it through like the relationship where you guys have an early breakup or there's a lot of fighting early on, actually he says some of those can be the strongest marriages he sees, because if both parties are truly committed and they're both willing to work on it and they're both willing to make those changes and adjustments, then they really care and they really like that person, and there's a much higher chance of them being willing to do whatever it takes to make it work later on as well. So actually, sometimes that can make the relationship have a much higher chance of working out than the relationships that just seem like everything's fine and they don't really fight ever. And then maybe there's a problem down the road, and at the first sign of difficulty, both parties are out, or one party's like, oh, I can't do this. No. So in a way, you kind of can sort that out, because if you're both fighting and you're both still willing to do the work, then obviously you both care. And I feel like this person does really care about you, but I do feel like there's going to be one major breakup or an off and on situation or a lot of fighting maybe at some point in this relationship. It does get difficult and tricky, and I feel like it's going to be up to you guys, and you do have, of course, free will. Fate does influence things, but we always do have free will to control how you want to move forward with it. I feel like this person is very protective of you, very loving towards you. And again, one of the reasons it's coming in is to teach you how to communicate, which this details card always reminds me of communication. It shows a phone, it shows writing, it shows a word in close up under a microscope. So it always makes me think of communication in various forms. And I do feel like that's something you guys are being pushed to like get better at. I feel like some of you guys are being called out like, you're not a good communicator, or maybe you're the kind of person that you would say, well, I would never tolerate that because yeah, I hate that and I just want peace. But you know, sometimes there's something to be said for pushing yourself through your existing energy and what you're used to into a zone that you have never been in before. I'm seeing this person may have dark hair, but of course they could have light hair as well. But that's what I'm seeing in my mind is like dark hair. And I feel like you guys really love like cuddling together, or there's something about I'm seeing someone sleeping. Maybe they love to watch you sleep, but I feel like, oh, you guys could have a connection while you sleep as well, because the Four of Swords came out and we just got straddling worlds, wandering between realms. As I'm saying that flew out because I'm seeing someone sleeping. There may be a lot of communication that happens in the dream world while you guys are sleeping, whether you're sleeping next to each other, whether you're separated. And I actually feel like this relationship has the potential for so much longevity. Like it could last for, I feel like, the rest of your life. There is a really permanent energy possibly here. And it's kind of like it's up to you guys. We also got Will-o'-the-Wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows, horned cactus, resourcefulness, and dust devil, moving out of stagnation. We got first breath, beginner's mind, and feast of plenty, choices and their consequences. Yeah, it feels like at the opening, there's a lot of stuff that needs to work out. Maybe you guys also need to put up boundaries with them, or they need to do things differently. I feel like you're going to be called to work on your communication. It's almost like both of you are triggering each other into growing. Both of you guys are pushing each other into a better version of yourself, and it's a little hard at first, I'm not going to lie, but I do feel like overall there's so much love here, there's so much intensity and emotion here, and for that reason I actually really like it. Let's get into some more astrology. Let's get some astrology dice. We got the first house, aka Aries, Jupiter, aka Sag, and double Aries, so lots of fire. Let's get one more sign. Aries again. Okay, Sag. Oh my gosh. Okay, so those are the only signs they want me to talk about. So that's what we will do. So double fire. Fire really can be a lot of passion and intensity, and it also can be conflict. Like fire signs rule over the wands on tarot, which is literally signs of conflict. And you know, the wand is actually a weapon in the tarot deck. So it's not like a beautiful magic wand, although it is used like that in some cards, like the Magician card. But it's really used for most of the time in the tarot as like a conflict and people fighting with it or people hitting each other with it. So fire signs, again, have this incredible passion, this zest for life, this very much like aliveness that they have, this feeling of being potent and alive and vibrant, but they also can have a lot of conflict. So when you have a lot of fire in a relationship, that can be a relationship that there's so much passion, a lot of sexual chemistry, but also some of that fighting energy and some of that back and forth or arguments or whatever. With Aries, again, I feel like with that coming out with the Hermit card, you guys are really being called to work on your maybe tendency towards independence. If you have been very independent, if you kind of haven't tolerated a lot of BS, this relationship may try you because it may push you way out of your comfort zone and you may find yourself kind of compromising. But again, I'm hearing this may be really important for your soul growth, because I always think it's interesting, you know, it's super easy to be like the spiritual enlightened one when, you know, you're alone by yourself. And then we all like go home to visit our parents and we realize I'm not that enlightened, right? So being around someone that triggers you, being around someone, and often parents are from past lives. So again, these past life connections can kind of trigger us like nothing else. And we may think we're so chill, we're so, you know, it's easy to be like so enlightened when you're at a like yoga retreat in Bali, but if you're like stuck in traffic for 2 hours and you're tired and you're cranky, it's a lot harder to be enlightened. So sometimes it's good to have yourself pushed. You might think, oh yeah, I leveled up in this way, but then you get into a karmic connection, you realize, oh, I still have some work to do, and that's actually a good thing. So I think this is kind of, this Aries energy is about you stepping out of that very single-minded focus, like focus on the self energy, and more into that 7th house partnership energy. Then we also have Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, ruling over Sagittarius. And again, Sagittarius is a very spiritual sign, spirituality expressed through fire. So it is a very wise sign, and it really is about growth and expansion and abundance and the blessings that come when we're willing to be brave and we're willing to go after what we want and we're willing to kind of take on whatever comes as a result of that. That's why Sagittarians have a reputation for being so brave, and a lot of like famous pop stars and stuff are Sagittarians, because I think it really does make you willing to like take that risk, go for it, try at it. And I feel like that's kind of what you guys are learning, is like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone with this connection. You guys might travel a lot together. You might really inspire each other to be more daring. Fire energy is very daring, very bold, very exploratory. So both of you guys might bring out the kind of like adventurous side of the other one and pushing each other out of your comfort zone or what you thought you were capable of. So yeah, I think this is a beautiful opportunity for growth, and this relationship is going to be very addictive. It's going to be very powerful, very potent. It's probably going to be very sexually motivated, but there's real love and emotions there. And if you guys can push through some of the conflict, I think there's a lot of potential here. So that is what I have for you, pile number 1. I really hope it resonates. If it does, let me know down in the comments, and give this reading a thumbs up and hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications. That all really helps the channel. If you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about what people fantasize about you. That is a fun, spicy, kind of sexy reading. And there's also one all about what you are carrying with you from past lifetimes. That one is also very deep and spiritual, and another spicy one all about what people find sexy about you. So there are over 85 exclusive readings you'll only get access to when you sign up for Patreon. There are love readings, career readings, money readings, spirituality readings, future life, past life, so many different topics that we cover, and you also get early access and ad-free access to my YouTube videos. So they always get posted over there way early. And you guys also can vote and suggest on new topics over on Patreon. So if all that sounds good to you and you want to join, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me over on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that via my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want a half-hour session or a full hour-long session, whether you want me to pull tarot, read your astrology, channel for you, whether you want it pre-recorded or live, you can really customize your reading so it's perfect for you and what you want to get out of it. If you're interested in booking that slot with me, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com. Link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So let's get into your cards and see what you can expect in your next relationship. What's going to be happening in Pile 2's next relationship? So we have the 7 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles. This person may come in through your workplace. You may meet them at your office, at your place of work, at a business. We also got the 4 of Wands and the Lovers. So I feel like this person is going to be a lot of fun. They're probably going to be someone that you really enjoy spending time with. You may have the same sense of humor as them, and you guys may be quite goofy together and just kind of like have a playful, fun energy between you guys. Like maybe you laugh at the same things, or you both like to watch the same TV shows, or You both get kind of goofy after a couple drinks, but I feel like there's a lot of fun, laughter, and just enjoyment that kind of flows between you guys. It's almost like this person is a little kid at heart. Like he or she is like a big kid, you know, like they may literally be younger than you or just feel energetically younger, where they do not seem like an older, jaded energy. They don't seem like they've kind of been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. They seem still very young and like open energetically. You know, they are still, I feel like, someone that probably gets excited on like Christmas morning or something. And maybe that is something that's a big deal for them. It's like celebrating holidays, or, you know, if you love Valentine's Day or something, that they would kind of go all out for that. Because I could definitely see this person being that kind of person that would like enjoy an event, enjoy a party, enjoy dressing up for Halloween, or, you know, getting things ready for like a Super Bowl party. I feel like this person, yeah, really takes a lot of enjoyment in life. We got the Page of Wands. So they may be someone who is a fire sign. They could be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but they may be very still like a youthful feeling, bold, young at heart, and also love to like try things, explore it. This person could even be into like, extreme sports, or they could be very athletic and very active in that way. One thing I think you guys are really going to have in common is like a friend circle, or how you like to spend your time. So you may have a lot of the same friends, and once you guys get to know each other, you may find like, oh my god, you know Sarah, I know Sarah, oh my god, you know David, wow, yeah, he's going out with one of my good friends, Emily, you know her, right? And it may be that thing that like really links you guys is having the same friends, or maybe just seamlessly blending a friend group that like as soon as you get to know their friends, you get along with them and they get along with your friends, and next thing you know, it's just like a blending of lives. Like I feel like you guys have so much in common. You have a lot of the same goals, you have a lot of the same like ways you enjoy spending your time. So if your idea of like a great Sunday is to like sleep in a little, go walk to get a latte, then maybe browse around Target, come home and watch the game on TV, maybe they love the exact same thing and they're like, perfect, this is exactly what I was looking for. I was wanting someone who loves to watch the game, and I was wanting someone who idea of a fun day is browsing around Target. I don't know how many straight dudes are actually into that, but you know, we can dream, right? But yeah, like I feel like you guys are just gonna be very aligned with the things you guys enjoy doing, and how you have fun, I guess, like what your idea of a good time is. You know, so for some people it's like, I want to go out, I want to be wild, I want to take shots, and some people it's like, I want to spend a quiet night in and maybe have a glass of wine, maybe just nothing, or have some green juice. I feel like whatever it is, you guys are very aligned in terms of like lifestyle, scheduling. Like if you like to work out, they probably like to work out. If you're kind of a couch potato and you're not into the gym scene, they're probably the same. But it feels like a lot of the commonality is just how you enjoy spending your time. And that's a huge deal in a relationship. So there's a lot that you guys have in common, and a lot of things that I think bind you together on that level and kind of allow you to merge lives very easily. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of roadblocks or there's a lot of differences with the major things in life. I also feel like this person and you, you may like dream of them before you actually meet them. If you made a manifestation list, they may have had all those things on the manifestation list. I also feel like this person could be a bit of an optimist, like could be someone that really sees things through rose-colored glasses. I'm almost getting like Pisces placements for them. And it feels like they tend to look on the bright side or be very positive, be very like, I could also see kind of the early astrology part of the astrology wheel, like Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, or even some of the fire signs and their optimism. But it just feels like this person kind of expects the best, or they're very positive minded. I don't feel like they are like very dramatic. I don't feel like they are someone that is constantly like crying or upset or starting conflict. It feels like they tend to be very kind of positive, on to the next. If something happens that they don't like, they're not going to like dwell on it and fixate. It feels like they're very keeping things moving, and also could be very ambitious with their career because I feel like they have a lot of goals, they have a lot of things they want to accomplish. And this could also have to do with their personal life as well. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this person was like a member of a hobby team, like a football or a kickball team or a pickleball team that they do. And they have certain goals with that. Like, oh, I really want to beat this score, or I really want to get my golf par down to this number or whatever. And I feel like that occupies their time. It feels like this person does have like an engaged social life. They have a lot of things going on. They may be very plugged into their career or very ambitious with that. And I feel like they're kind of like constantly moving or constantly doing things or very engaged with life. They have a lot going on. They're very ambitious and they have a lot of things that keep them like occupied and excited. So I feel like you may have to like get energy to kind of keep up with them. You know what I mean? Like they're not necessarily going to, I feel like sometimes it may even be hard with scheduling because I feel like they do have so many things that they're always wanting to do and so many different like projects that they have their hand in that sometimes you may feel like, excuse me, like, can you pencil me in? Because I feel like they're very busy and they have a lot of people that want to be around them. I also could see this person as having a really close relationship with their family, or also they could just be really close to like a friend group and they are super tight with certain friends that they've known for like their whole life. I could also see this person having pets, being really close. They're showing me a dog, and that being a major factor. Another thing they're mentioning to me is like you're going to really love their apartment, or you are going to really enjoy what part of town they live in, or you just like their living situation, something about their living situation. Or it could be vice versa. I guess they could like yours, but I feel like, honestly, I feel like this person is very much more aligned than maybe people you've dated in the past where maybe they've had certain messy situations. I feel like this person is very like goal-oriented, ambitious, and they're not gonna like engage in like clown stuff like, oh my God, wait, you don't have a mattress, or like your mattress is just in the middle of the living room, like on the floor. Honestly, I'm kind of biased because people will say, oh my God, mattress on the floor. And I love having my mattress on the floor. I like being like lower to the ground for some reason. I don't know. So I have done that sometimes purposefully, but I totally understand the concern if you're like you don't love that and you're just like letting your mattress be on the floor out of laziness. But yeah, I feel like this person, they have their life together to a certain extent. They have a lot of goals, they have a lot of dreams, they're on a certain track to success, and I feel like that adds a lot for you because it's almost like you can kind of relax with them. You don't have to worry about some of the stuff that you had to think about in past relationships. It's kind of like you can kind of like sit back and chill. And again, they may be very close to their family. It may even be that like their family has like a vacation home or lives in a really beautiful house and you love going up to visit their mom because they have like this beautiful lake house and you love making s'mores by the campfire or something. But I feel like there's something about, I don't know, their living situation that really makes you happy and you really enjoy that and kind of could like see yourself there long term. Let's get into some song cards for you. Pile number 2. What kind of song cards are we gonna get for pile 2's next relationship? So we got Ivy, Taylor Swift. Okay, that reminds me of a home, that song, because in this context, because of course, ivy grows over the walls of a home. And yeah, to me, whenever I see ivy on homes, like I love that. I know it's technically like an invasive vine and bad, but I love the look of ivy covered walls. And I do feel like this person's house, again, going to be really, really beautiful. Awful Things, Lil Peep. Okay. Can you tell me about pile 2's next relationship? Call it what you want. Taylor Swift. Wouldn't It Be Nice? The Beach Boys. Let's see. Digital Love, Daft Punk. Right Through Me, Nicki Minaj, and let's get one more. So you guys could also meet with online dating with Digital Love, Diplomat Son, Vampire Weekend, again, that connection to family, another Lil Peep song, maybe they're a Lil Peep fan, Sex With My Ex, and God's Plan, Drake. So you guys may also be aligned with like your spiritual or religious beliefs. It may be that if you're a Christian, that this person like goes to church every week, or maybe they're not like super, super Christian, but maybe they, identify as a Christian and they celebrate celebrate Christmas, they celebrate Easter, they go to church, a few times a year, whatever. But yeah, it's important to them, or it's a part of their culture. Or maybe if you're not Christian or you're not really religious at all, maybe they share spiritual beliefs. Maybe you're telling them about astrology and they're like, oh, that's so cool. Wait, what transit is happening? Oh my God, it's a full moon. What does that mean for me? So it may be cool that you guys have similar spiritual beliefs or similar cultural backgrounds that you agree with. Because a lot of times religion is also very cultural. So maybe you guys come from the same background or the same ethnicity, and there's a lot that you have in common when it comes to that, and a lot that you guys see eye to eye on with like your cultural traditions and how you want to celebrate holidays and family beliefs and all of that. It feels like you guys finding each other is kind of like two puzzle pieces locking into place. Like it just makes so much sense, and there's so much that you guys have in common, and there's almost like an easy comfort level that I feel like you find with each other right away. Like it doesn't feel like there's as much awkwardness, tension, fighting, like arguments, and that tempestuous off on like, I love you, I hate you. It doesn't feel like you go through that. It feels like it's just very mature, and you guys automatically have this kind of peacefulness that flows between you guys. And like I said, a lot of understanding and patience with each other, and a lot of understanding of where the other person is coming from. It may be that you guys both were manifesting or trying to manifest, a serious relationship for the longest time, and they were looking for someone like you, and you were looking for someone like them. But it feels like there's so much commonality. And like I said, it's just easy to like read a book next to each other, or you guys both like to read. So that's already a plus, because maybe with your ex, you like to read, and then they would be like, what are you doing? It's so boring. Come play video games with me. And there was like a tension, or maybe they like to play video games, you like to read, but you guys love to do it next to each other, and it's just super chill. Yeah, I feel like you guys are also like, it feels like this relationship is very like slow and steady. Like it may not move that fast, and it may not be like an instant engagement or an instant moving in with each other. It feels like both of you guys are a little cautious, almost like, let me figure this person out, let me give it some time, because I feel like both of you are desirable and you have options. And so it's not that like either of you is playing games. I just feel like there's a cautiousness, like there's a almost maturity, or there's an adult quality to this, where it's not like I need to rush in and feel all this passion. It's kind of like, yeah, this is what I want, and this makes a lot of sense to me, and let's kind of take things slow. So there's a very strong energy of calm around this connection. Let me clear these out of the way, and then we're going to pull some more tarot with a different deck. Yeah, because I love doing tarot, because then we can see if we get any more doubles. And anytime we get a double, that's definitely a sign that that energy is very important. So let's see what other cards we're going to get for the tarot. What is going to be pile two's next relationship? What is pile two's next relationship going to be like? So we got the Two of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. You guys may be very aligned with your long-term goals. The Two of Pentacles is all about planning and kind of weighing options and really thinking things through clearly and taking your time with it. And also balance. It's about work-life balance. So that may be a thing that comes up in the relationship. Like maybe if you've had other relationships where maybe you've been busy at work and the person's been very like not understanding of that, and it sometimes gets angry about it, or you have been, with a partner and they devoted all their time to work, and it was hard for you to know if they cared. Or maybe you wanted a partner who was more ambitious. I feel like whatever it is, it's like there's kind of this understanding that you have of each other, and this patience and this willingness to work through the issues and not overreact. So it may be something that you guys have to sit down and like talk about finances, or talk about, work schedule, and like, I really want to be able to see you more. So can we plan a date night for a specific night of the week? But I feel like this person is really willing to have those hard conversations. They're not going to shy away from it. So it's almost like you can open up and really trust this person in a way that maybe has been hard for you in past relationships. Maybe in the past, if someone was not, as available and they had a really busy week of work, you'd be panicking because they would just suddenly not text you a lot, and suddenly you wouldn't hear from them, and you'd be like, what the F is going on? and you'd get in your head and panic, and you ask this person and they're like, oh my God, babe, of course I've been working. Let me turn my locations on so you can see that I'm just at the hospital all day, or I'm just at my office all day, you know? And it's like, there's a calmness of like, oh, okay, I can trust them. Everything is chill. And this person may be a really cool conversationalist. I feel like they almost know a lot about a lot of random topics and can like teach you things, and you can learn stuff from them. You might find yourself learning about completely different subjects and things that maybe you didn't even know that you would be interested in. Maybe topics that you were like, oh, like I don't really care about that, but then they start talking to you about it. Like I thought it was funny, Nikki Glazer made a joke about how Taylor Swift made it okay for girls to watch football, which obviously was okay before, but I thought that was so funny because I'm like, yeah, she kind of did. I mean, who cared about football before? At least I definitely didn't. And yeah, like obviously you don't need anyone's permission to get into it, but sometimes you might respect someone else in some other arena and then they tell you like, oh no, like foosball is super cool. And then you're like, okay. And you're kind of open and then you learn about it and you're like, oh yeah, it is cool. Or you were super bored by the idea of dinosaurs or something. And then they are obsessed with dinosaurs. They want to talk about dinosaurs all the time. And you're like, and then you find yourself getting interested and being like, oh, that's kind of cool. I feel like sometimes I've done that with astrology to people because I never have been with anyone who's like, oh, I love astrology. I wish, you know, that was my experience, but I've never had that. But it's like, I'm obviously still going to talk about it regardless. So you're going to have to hear about your placements and whatever. And I feel like, yeah, there's that kind of like willingness to learn from each other and openness into different topics. I also feel like maybe this is like an ending for you of like connection with an ex or a dysfunctional old relationship. It could be for them as well. They may feel very connected to an ex or someone that they had a relationship with where it was a little dysfunctional, or they still had feelings for that person for the longest time and kind of like couldn't get over it. And I feel like them connecting with you really kind of helps them get over that hump and realize that there's life outside of that. And it's almost like finally putting that to bed, or maybe that's your energy, finally kind of putting that to rest and being like, oh, this is what an actual functional relationship feels like. This is what it feels like to really be loved in like a safe way and in a calm way. And in a way that I can kind of like relax my nervous system and stop panicking if I have to tell them bad news, and they're not going to freak out on me, and like, oh, this is kind of nice. So I do feel like there's that calmness and chillness. I'm getting for some of these people, there may be like a little resistance or hesitancy towards marriage right away. And I mentioned that at the beginning, that I'm not necessarily seeing this connection move really quick into like engagement, marriage, blah, 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 which isn't a bad thing. I mean, a lot of marriages progress at that rate. Like people will get married after 3 years, and it, you know, isn't necessarily a better indicator of success that you get married after a month in Vegas. Like, you know, I mean, definitely not. But I do feel like maybe that could create a little tension. Like maybe for you, you're like, well, I wanted to get married within like a year after meeting someone, or I want the proposal. And then this person's a little scared, or there's discussions around like prenups or alimony, which I, as someone who used to work in family law, think is so good to have those discussions. I don't think it's a bad thing. Even though I think sometimes people get like offended by like, oh my God, who would want a prenup? But that can just really help with a lot of things because marriage is a legal contract. So I don't know, there may be something about that, this person being a little shy. If you're like older, I feel like this person may have been married before, and maybe it made them a little like scared of it because divorces are traumatic. But yeah, I feel like that's able to be worked through, and it's almost like you learn a little patience with that, and then they're willing to compromise, and there's like a meeting in the middle between you guys. So let me get into these cards for you, pile number 2. We want to know about pile number 2's next relationship. What is going to be pile number 2's next relationship? Okay, we got slow. That's exactly what I was just saying. Slow and steady. It feels like things really move at like a really calm pace. And actually, I think that's really nice for you. I feel like this person, it's almost like they've been hurt before. So their guard is up a little bit, or they're kind of like afraid, maybe it's too good to be true, or maybe I don't know, like maybe I'm not ready for marriage again, or maybe I'm not ready ever. And I feel like that does create a conflict or a discussion, but it is something that you guys can work through and take care of. And it's something that you guys can like address and leave in the past. I also feel like with this person, yeah, there's a lot of healing happening for both of you. It's almost like both of you guys may haven't been involved in toxic past relationships where maybe the person demanded a lot from you, or was very wishy-washy, or was very deceptive, or kind of lied and didn't tell you the truth. So there may be a little bit of guards up at first, or a little bit of like cautiousness, I guess. But I feel like, again, it's like there's a restfulness that you guys have with each other that over time kind of like chips away at that. And over time, it's like, oh, I don't need to have my guard up. I can really trust this person. And I feel like one thing you guys are very much aligned with, like I said at the beginning, is lifestyle. Maybe you guys both really love like a clean house, and it's really important that you guys do like a deep clean, mop all the floors every Sunday, or the opposite. Maybe you're both super chill. You're like, oh yeah, throw the dishes in the sink. We'll do them tomorrow morning. Or you both love to cook with wine at night, and then, you know, someone will clean it in the morning. Or there's similarities, I feel like, with how you guys manage a house, how you guys manage your time, your schedule, your expectations, all of that. And I think that is something major. This person also feels like you really add value to their life. Like they feel like they kind of couldn't do it without you. And I feel like that's almost something that helps chip away again at that resistance that they may have, where maybe at first they were like, oh, I'll never marry ever again, or I've never been married, I never want to get married. But then they're like, wow, pile number two makes my life so much better. I can't imagine my life without them. Like they are like a lifesaver for me. And then they find themselves wanting to propose. Let's get into some of these cards for you. Pile number two. What is going to be pile number two's next relationship? So we got overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. Beloved, radical embrace, joyful muse, inspiration. Okay. A tidy house. What was I saying? Maybe you guys are both clean freaks, because we got a lot of messages about cleaning. Crown games, right use of power. I think it may start raining soon. And repairing the veil, forgiveness. So yeah, I feel like this relationship, what I love about it is it feels so much more mature. I could see some of you guys being older in age. If you're like listening to this, maybe you are already in your 40s, or you're in your 50s, or your 30s, but it feels like you are past the point of playing these games, or past the point of like, you know, foolishness and just wanting to hook up with a bunch of people. And it feels like both of you guys are really ready for something serious, ready for something real. And both of you guys may be at good places when it comes to your career, where you're able to settle down, where you're able to, you know, buy a house together, or you're able to afford to start a family together, or you're able to join households and you guys both have kids. But it feels like it's almost like we're past the chaotic stage of a relationship, where maybe you're both super young in your 20s, and there's a lot of chaos, and there's a lot of fighting and passion, but there's a lot of drama. It feels like there's a much more calm vibe. And I feel like this person really does love you very much and accepts you as you are. And you might even be inspired, or you might feel more openness in your life. This person may give you some more freedom to pursue like interests, hobbies. Maybe they're willing to financially support you a little bit more. Maybe you move into like their apartment and they have an extra bedroom, and you're like, hey, could I make this into a writing studio? Could I make it into a little like painting room? But there's something about like you getting some more space, and kind of like I said, getting able to like take a breath and kind of relax with each other. Like, oh, so I don't need to be so stressed out. So I don't need to do everything on my own. And so this person may be financially successful. And again, I feel like someone's house is like a big part of the appeal here. Maybe it's their house, maybe it's their parents' house, but I feel like they're also very ready to make those financial decisions. Like maybe they do have good credit. Maybe if you guys wanted to move in together, like they can sign for the house and everything's good with that. I feel like there's something about this person wanting to like take care of you in some way and look after you in some way that I feel like is really, really gratifying for you guys. Let's get into some astrology dice for you. Pile number two. What is the astrology at play? So we got Pluto, we got Libra, and then we got the fifth house, aka Leo. So we have Scorpio, Libra, and Leo. So let's read it left to right. Pluto, aka Scorpio, and Pluto is the— sorry guys, I got interrupted because my storage was full. But as I was saying, Pluto is the planet of working through traumas, major transformation. And again, I feel like there's a lot of shadow work that kind of preceded you guys getting together. So it feels like you're ready to lean into this kind of deeper stage of a relationship. Pluto is also the merging of assets. It is the 8th house of other people's income. So again, this person may provide for you financially or be very well off financially. Like when someone has a Venus in the 8th house, it often means they may marry someone who's going to provide for them or give them some kind of a money. Yeah, give them some kind of money. And I feel like with this person, they may be very generous with you, or they must maybe just at a place in their life where they have their finances on point. They are able to kind of give you some money or coming from a good place financially. Everything is good with that. And there's kind of this coming together when it comes to a financial merging or when it comes to a merging of lives and assets. Then we also have Libra. Libra is the 7th house of like marriage, long-term partnerships. And again, I can see that happening for you guys because it really does have this beautiful calm energy between you guys. It may not be a marriage right away, but I feel like what's coming through strongly is that kind of beautiful Libra peacefulness, calm, and willingness to compromise that you guys both have. This doesn't feel like a chaotic union or a chaotic relationship where there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of arguing and chaos. It really does feel very calm to me, very peaceful, and like you guys have more in common than you have not in common. It feels like you guys are very aligned with certain major issues, and there's so much that you guys agree on rather than disagree on. So I feel like that's kind of like a very calming thing for you. There's a peacefulness that comes from you guys coming together. Then we also have the 5th house of romance and also hobbies and interests, also children. So again, I mentioned I could see you guys having kids together, or if you already have kids, like there being an easy merging when it comes to that. And the 5th house is also like our hobbies, creative gifts, that kind of a thing. And again, I could see this person really giving you the space in your life. It's almost like because you feel a sense of peace with them, that it allows you to focus on other areas, or it allows you, this person has a lot of hobbies. Like I said, maybe they play like pickleball, or they love to golf, or they, are a writer on the side or something like that. And it encourages you to start getting into that as well, or start getting into your own hobby, maybe something totally different. Maybe you would end up with a completely, new sport that you've never tried before, or maybe it's something you already kind of were interested in, but I feel like it's almost like you have more space in your life to focus on yourself, to focus on your interests, and to really pursue that and go after that in a way that I think is really gratifying. So yeah, I feel like this connection, there's a lot of maturity, there's a lot of peace here, and there's a lot of like mutual respect and love, and it's kind of this quiet, supportive love more than like a chaotic, overly Aries, like spicy Mars passion love. It's more of a Venusian supportive, calm love and companionate love. So yeah, it's actually really beautiful and could last a really long time. So hope you're ready for that pile 2. I hope that resonated. If it does, I love to hear from you guys. I would love to know in the comments how it resonated for you. Also, if you want to give this reading a like, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications. That really helps the channel. If you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. I just posted one all about what makes you sexy, as well as what people are fantasizing about you. So 2 spicy readings. Then we also have a spiritual reading all about what you're carrying with you from past lifetimes. But there are over 85 exclusive readings that you'll only get access to on Patreon. There's love readings, career readings, money readings, spirituality readings, future life, past life, personality, so many different topics that, yeah, it's just endless. And you also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So they always get posted over there first. You guys get to watch them way early on Patreon. And we also vote and suggest on new topics over there. So if all that sounds good to you and you want to sign up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description and join me on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want to book a half-hour session or a full hour-long session with me, whether you want to have it be about tarot, using astrology, channeling, whatever the case may be, you can do that, like I said, at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and you can really customize your session to be whatever you want it to be, whether you want pre-recorded, live, etc., etc. So, like I said, go to my website, which the link is in my description, for briarrosetarot.com, and book a slot with me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very, very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So let's get into your cards and see what you can expect with your next relationship. What can pile number 3 expect when it comes to their next relationship? So we have the Hierophant and the Queen of Swords, okay? The King of Swords. So this person could be like powerful, I feel. This person could be very successful. They could have some money or some kind of a status. They could be someone that is very charismatic, good with their words, and that a lot of people kind of respect and look up to. And it may be someone with some level of power with the Hierophant coming out. The Queen of Wands, the Five of Swords, and let's get one more card. We got the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, this person could be very ambitious. I feel like they're very goal-oriented, and they're probably someone that has almost like a checklist of things that they want to do in their life or things they want to accomplish. And I feel like this person is very picky about who they date as well. Like they probably have a lot of admirers. They probably have a lot of people that would be interested in being with them, but I feel like they really are picky and they're not open to everyone. So just because they may have interest, or they may even have like hooked up with some different people, but they're not necessarily going to get into a relationship. And I feel like they're very picky about that. And I feel like they really like you. What's coming through with their energy towards you is almost like they get a kick out of you. Or maybe there are certain things that you're kind of irreverent about or you don't take so seriously that they would be really serious about. Like maybe they are super ambitious with their career. They're like a million miles an hour, pedal to the metal, trying to accomplish something, trying to make like partner at their law firm or trying to rise through the ranks at their company. They take it super serious. And then on the other hand, your career is very non-traditional and you're like, oh yeah, like anyway, I kind of woke up late today and then I went into my art studio or something like that. And they're like, what on earth? Like, how are you not stressing out about, you know, a deadline? And how are you not trying to like run through the company and get the top position? And I feel like they almost enjoy the fact that you bring them down to earth, or you kind of like take them out of that and kind of are a little bit more, I don't want to say chaotic, but maybe that is the word for it. Like you kind of remind them that like life doesn't have to be that serious. And so I feel like they actually really love that about you, that you kind of inspire them to like let their guard down a little bit and kind of like relax and not be so driven with everything and not feeling like as much pressure. I feel like in a way, like their way into you first, or they really come onto you very strong. And I feel like you're a little bit like harder to convince at first, or there's an energy of you being kind of like, I'm not sure, or like, oh, we're just having fun and I'm not really looking for anything serious or something like that. And then this person being like, no, but I want to date you, and kind of being a little taken aback because again, I feel like they probably do have a lot of admirers and a lot of people that do want to date them. So it's a little bit like shocking to them, almost like, wait, what is going on? How is pile number 3 really not that interested in dating me? Like, there's so many other people that want to date me, and pile number 3 just doesn't really care that much. So I feel like that kind of throws them for a loop, but then they also really enjoy it and they kind of like the challenge and it makes them want to compete for you. I also feel like you might wear the pants in the relationship for that reason. Like with the 9 of Wands, I feel like this person really sees you as a prize and as like top tier. Maybe you are the exact beauty standard that they are attracted to. Like if you have dark hair, maybe they are exclusively exclusively attracted to brunettes, or maybe you have really blonde hair and they love blondes, or maybe something about your bone structure specifically, like they love someone with a prominent nose and you have a Roman nose and it's very noticeable. But I feel like, or you have freckles, they love freckles, you know what I'm saying. And I feel like whatever it is, like you tick all their boxes and you look like exactly like their type, but better. And so they are like, wow, okay, I'm definitely, they notice you right away and they're willing to kind of do whatever it takes to keep you and to stay with you. And yeah, I feel like there's almost like a vibe of them having to pursue you, and at first you kind of like not being so sure about them and kind of like holding them off or kind of not being as interested, and then them kind of being willing to prove to you and fight for you and show you that they really are serious. And you might even think of them even as a little boring at first. I don't think they are boring, but you might think of them as like, oh, this person's like, they're so down bad for me and they're really easy. And then you realize like, oh no, a lot of other people would want to date them and they're actually like really a catch. And oh my gosh. And I feel like you are more of the like funny, irreverent, fun, chaotic, like one that keeps them on their toes, whereas they're a little bit more predictable. This person may be really good at like regularly texting, regularly keeping in touch. I feel like they definitely are more, like I said, reliable and less chaotic than other people maybe. They probably do have their phone on them at all times and would be like that person that if they say they're going to text you or they say they're going to show up at a certain time, they are going to do that. I also feel like this person probably, like I said, has friends who look up to them or family members who look up to them. It almost feels like this person may have a lot of responsibility on their plate, or they have a lot of things that they kind of have to take care of. I mean, the Hierophant has a lot of responsibility often and has people who look up to them, and they definitely have that position of authority. It's also ruled by Taurus. Taurus is all about that long-term building and kind of that, first of all, second house of earned income. So again, this person may be very ambitious when it comes to their career and the things they want to build and the things they want to accomplish. But also Taurus, you know, is very stubborn. When they want something, that's it. It's a fixed sign. I feel like it's almost like they get their mind set on you and that's what they want. They're, you know, all in, and that's it. They may be an air sign. We have double air coming out, the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords. So of course, air is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. We also have the Queen of Wands, so that could be your energy. I feel like you're kind of Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands mix, but that's fire signs, so they could also be Aries, Leo, Sag, or you could have those placements. You could also have air, but I feel like you guys have amazing conversations together, and they like the fact that you are quick on your feet. You have a quick wit. You probably are a great conversationalist. You probably can keep them very entertained, and you're kind of funny and sharp and a little bit of a challenge. And I feel like they really like that about you. They like the fact that they kind of don't know what to expect with you, or you're not like too easy for them. And so I feel like this person may even go out of their way to impress you. Like they may want to take you on really nice trips or take you to the nicest restaurant in town, or like you know, get themselves into situations where they can show off to you like that they know what they're doing. Like maybe they're really good at a certain sport and they tell you like, hey, come watch me play frisbee in the park on Saturday, and you're like, okay, that sounds casual. But then when you show up, they're like doing these tricks with the frisbee and they're like running across the field to catch it on a really far throw, and they tell their friend like, hey bro, like, you know, shoot it as far as you can, and they want to show off to you like, hey, I'm really good at this. I feel like they definitely have this vibe of like trying to impress you or pulling out all the stops. So like I said, they may take you on really nice trips, travel with you, want to wine and dine you or show you off in that way. And I feel like they kind of want to show you everything they can do. So when you first meet them, it may even feel a little bit like they're bragging. Like sometimes you might be like, oh my gosh, like why are you mentioning all this career stuff, like you're showing off, or you have to tell me all about your expensive car, like kind of a turn off. I hate when guys act this way, but I almost feel like it's coming out of that place of insecurity because they do see you as such a catch that they're not necessarily trying to brag or trying to make you feel weird or anything. They're just trying to show you everything they can do for you, because I feel like they do see you as a catch with lots and lots of different options, and they may even get a little bit jealous with that Nine of Wands. They may be the type to get a little jealous if you're like, oh, I'm hanging out with a guy friend, or, I'm going out with the girls and I'm going to dress up a little. They might really hate that. Even if they try to play it cool and be like, oh, yeah, no big deal. Have fun, babe. They may be like checking your location all the time, or, trying to refresh on your stories constantly to see if you posted anything, and yeah, I feel like it is though, because they are really attracted to you, and I'm hearing that they'll be so excited to like show you off to their friends. Like they can't wait to show you off, post you, introduce you to their family, and they really do see you as like a prize. Let's get into some song cards for pile number 3. Pile number 3. What can you tell me about pile 3's next relationship? So we got False God, Taylor Swift. Okay. God Only Knows, the Beach Boys. Teenage Dream, Katy Perry. How Deep Is Your Love, the Bee Gees. I feel like there's a little bit of a wall that you have up, that it's almost like they have to prove again how deep their love is. Speaking of the Bee Gees song, like you have a little bit of a wall up, or you're not 100% open, or you have been hurt in the past, so you're a little bit closed off. And again, I actually feel like this person likes that, even though they may be kind of taken aback a little. There may be a part of them that is a little bit scared at first, or kind of like, oh my God, sometimes like, what is going on? Do they even like me? Do they care about me? Like, I don't even think they like me back, but I feel like this person is willing to like withstand it for the most part. Again, you do have free will. It is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest. It may be worth doing things to show that you do care about this person, because I feel like, I don't know, they might have their Venus or your Venus in their 12th house or something, where sometimes they can't feel your love, or they don't know if you really love them back. And it may be something that worries them, is this idea that, you're not really with them because you care about them, or you're just kind of with them like short term, but you don't have long term intentions when it comes to them. You're just kind of there for like a fun time or for a few nights out, but you're not really serious about them. And I feel like that does worry them. And so if it could be, if you guys have been hurt in the past, that you just do have walls up and you're not really going to let any old person in. And I feel like this person respects that a lot, but also it could create those problems in the relationship, where there may be a chance that sooner or later they're like, okay, they really don't care. They're not that into me. And what am I doing? I'm kind of wasting my time here. Let me go to these other people that actually do care about me. So a little bit of a warning that you probably do have to show some interest to this person, like open the door a little bit for them, because it feels like they could really think that it's very one-sided, if you're not willing to like at least meet them halfway or something. Yeah, I feel like this person, it's almost like they want to put their best foot forward. And I'm seeing someone's sister for some reason. I don't know if they really want to like impress your sister, if you have a sister, or maybe that's an important relationship to you, where like you vet everyone through your sister. She meets everyone and she doesn't like anyone you've dated, and she's like very picky, but she'll like this person and get along with them. Or maybe they have a sister and they have to vet you through their sister, or because they have a sister, they know how to act right towards girls or something. I don't know, but I feel like there's a sister somehow involved in this, and it's almost like there needs to be that approval, or there needs to be some kind of meeting with that, or like agreement with the sister that allows this relationship to move forward. I am seeing travel. I'm seeing, when I saw the Teenage Dream card, they're showing me it again for the second time, and specifically like the scene from Teenage Dream, the music video, where they're driving in the convertibles on a road trip. And I think the lyric from that song is like, we drove to Cali and got drunk on the beach. And then went to the hotel and made a fort out of sheets. So I feel like there's definitely a travel vibe happening. Like you guys are going places, you're traveling, you're exploring. And I feel like this person really loves to explore new places with you. I actually am hearing that this person really respects your mind. Like, I feel like if they have anything going on in their life, they really love to run it by you and see what you think. They see you in a way as like above them somehow. Like, in a way, it's like they worship you or they really look up to you. And I feel like you also help them to mature or reach another level. And they like the fact that you're not constantly easy to deal with. You're not like an airhead, or you're not like just bubbly, like laughing all the time, like hee, oh, I hope you like me. It feels like you can be sharp or difficult at times, or again, you have very high standards. And I feel like this person kind of is scared of that, but also really likes it. And again, in a way, they look up to you. Like, they kind of put you up on a pedestal, and like your opinion, like I said, matters a lot to them. I'm hearing that line from Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice that is like, I fear my good opinion once lost is lost forever. And I don't know, I feel like that's your energy, where you are very decisive and you will be like, I don't think you should talk to that person. He's sketchy to me. I don't think you should go into business with him or something. And this person would listen to you and be like, okay, I trust your intuition. I feel like they see you as smarter than them, or someone that sees things much deeper than them. And they really value your input. They may never tell you how much, but it's something that, like I said, really does matter to them, and they think about it a lot. Is like, can't wait to see what pile number 3 is going to say about this situation. They may not even like make a decision until they have your approval, or until you agree or tell them, you know, that you support them on something. I'm going to clear these. We can get some more tarot. I love doing double tarot, because then if it repeats a sign or a card, then that card is probably pretty important. So let me get the tarot. Okay, let's see. What is going to be pile number 3's next relationship? Queen of Wands. Okay, that's a double, because we got the Queen of Wands last time. Knight of Cups. They're very sexually attracted to you. The Queen of Wands is definitely the most sexual of all the tarot suits. So yeah, she definitely owns the tarot queens for sure. She definitely owns her sexuality. And I feel like this person is super, super drawn to you. They are saying that it does stress them out, that sometimes they don't know where they stand with you. Sometimes they don't know how you actually feel about them. And it really does worry them. So again, there's a message from Spirit that if you want things to work out with this person, you may have to be a little more forthright, or you may have to be a little more direct with them about exactly how you feel, or the fact that you do like them. Because if you don't, they may just assume like, oh, they don't care about me, and why would they? I'm below their level, or something like that. Yeah, I feel like the draw to you is very, very powerful. And again, super sexually attracted to you. You are very much their physical type. Like, if they could pick a perfect partner, the features, the hair, the stature, the body, the face, especially the face. I feel like they're very attracted to your face, your coloring, like your hair versus your skin, whatever is going on with that. They're very attracted to that. And I feel like it's like they love to look into your eyes. They love to see you while you're talking, or stare into your eyes during dinner, during the conversation. But they're very, very, very attracted to you. And I feel like you also encourage them to kind of seek out more facets of their personality. Like, I feel like this person can be very down to earth. They're very much someone who is very like orderly, almost like they might have a routine or a schedule. And again, they're pretty ambitious, so they may really, you know, have some kind of things they want to accomplish, and kind of a programmed set schedule with that. And so maybe their days are pretty predictable, and every Monday looks like this and every Tuesday looks like that. And I feel like you kind of come in to like shake that up and remind them that they have the power to do whatever they want with their life, and that they don't have to just stay in the same routine or the same rut, that they can experience so many different things in life. And I feel like that really helps them in a way with their own self-growth, and it really pushes them outside of what they're used to. I also feel like this person, again, Ten of Pentacles, they may want to spoil you, or you, maybe if they don't have money yet, you may inspire them to like really pursue things with their career, really try to earn more money, really try to be more ambitious. I feel like they definitely want to impress you financially. If they're not in that financial success place yet, that may really weigh on them. And again, it may be another of that source of tension, because again, I'm getting that a major issue that may come in with this relationship is their feeling of insecurity, feeling of not being good enough for you, feeling that you're going to leave them, or you're not going to be that interested in them one day, or you're not impressed with them. So that may be something that holds it back and kind of like could be a reason for things not working out. So again, just be communicative with how interested you are in them. You also may inspire them to like start a new business, go for something else, try to, you know, get a new job or move positions or apply for a promotion. So yeah, I feel like they kind of want to be their best version of themselves, and they're trying to like level up to stay with you. So that's a good sign, I would say, usually when someone is like, oh, let me improve myself to be worthy of this person. Let's get some cards for you. Pile number 3. What can you tell me about pile 3's next relationship? What can you tell me about pile 3's next relationship? We got coming to life. Okay, this one is home, wishing well. Okay, and let's get a couple more. Field of dreams, stuck in the mud, coming to life, and home. The only thing that I'm getting that I don't like is I feel like this person could sabotage things, because again, that feeling of not being good enough may really creep up on things. That feeling that they see you as so amazing and kind of out of their league, that they may take a very insecure stance and kind of like sabotage or mess things up, almost like unintentionally, but on a deep subconscious level. They may end up being like, oh, I'm getting a very pessimistic feeling coming through, especially when I look at that stuck in the mud card. I feel like some of that is them. Like, it's almost like when you want something so bad, but then it finally happens and you're like, I don't know what to do about this. And you kind of panic and ruin it. I feel like that could be an energy that is happening for them. But they are very, very drawn to you, and they really do like you and love you and think of you as so very special. I also feel like you kind of wake them up and make them experience life more, and vice versa for you as well. I feel like they also help you to experience more things, but you definitely feel like you have the upper hand, almost like the teaching role in this relationship. You kind of guide them, give them a lot of wisdom. They may look up to you spiritually. This may bring a spiritual dimension to the relationship where they want to take spiritual advice from you. They may ask your advice on things like timing of astrology. If you know a bit about astrology, they might be like, hey, so I think you said there's going to be a full moon, so should I launch the project at my work on that date, or what would you think? And you may find you do give spiritual advice to them, or kind of like impart wisdom for them in some way. And I do feel like that's a major part of the relationship. I feel like you're going to, again, have to be, they just keep mentioning this, you're really going to have to truly give your all to be supportive, because there is a part of them that's like, oh, I'm just not good enough, just not good enough for pile number 3. Let me get into some of these cards for you. Pile 3. What is going to be happening in pile 3's next relationship? So we got whale song resonating. Okay. Lost compass, getting back to integrity. Stranger, curiosity. Will-o'-the-wisp, treasures hidden in the shadows. Dust devil, moving out of stagnation. And skywriting the fates. So yeah, things may seem very fated with this person. I feel like you guys feel so powerfully moved to each other, powerfully very connected to each other. And I feel like there's a lot of excitement in this relationship as well. You guys may you may enjoy going out together to like bars, clubs, dancing with each other, going out to like whatever cool new restaurant, again, traveling together. I'm hearing that song Harley's in Hawaii by Katy Perry. Maybe someone's a Katy Perry fan since she's come through a lot. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of like exploration energy that's happening between you guys. Like both of you guys are exploring. Both of you guys are kind of getting to know each other, getting to know yourselves, and also having a lot of fun doing it. There's a very social vibe between you guys. They may have a lot of friends. They may be very sociable or very well liked and very well respected in the community. And I feel like they're kind of an extrovert, or they're someone that likes to stay busy and get out there and like talk to lots of different people and be around lots of different people. I feel like they kind of aren't the type to like stay inside and just be bored all day. So it's almost like it takes you out of your comfort zone, or it pushes you to explore more things as well. And you guys might have a really fun lifestyle together, constantly doing things and going places and exploring. I feel like there's a lot of boldness and kind of curiosity that happens between you guys. Both of you are not wanting to just stay inside and eat popcorn. Like there's a lot of fun happening. Let's get into some astrology dice for you. Pile number 3. What is the astrology for pile 3? Wow, speaking of, we have the 9th house, aka Sagittarius, and then we have some double Capricorn energy. So let me spin this again. Taurus. Okay, so double Earth. They definitely could be an Earth sign. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. But let's read it left to right, starting with Sagittarius. So as I was mentioning, I can definitely see a strong travel energy. Sagittarius rules the 9th house of travel. So that is all about exploring, getting outside of the norm, getting outside of what we're used to. This person may even be from a slightly different culture from you, or have slight differences that like you kind of have to adjust, and you learn about them and they learn about you. I feel like this person is so fascinated by you. I'm getting that Sagittarius curiosity coming through really strong. Like they just love to learn from you. They just love to hear from you and think about you and kind of discover you. And it's really actually very fun for them to kind of discover you, you know? And I also feel like you guys have that Sagittarius energy of going out, exploring, you know, going out to restaurants, trying a new place, going to a foreign country together, and kind of like learning and exploring together and kind of opening up, because I think that's really what Sagittarius is all about. It's like opening up your mind and exploring and exposing yourself to different cultures, different people, different places, and things outside of your normal experience. And I feel like that's a major part of this relationship, is like this fun exploration you guys have with each other, whether it's just going out to a local restaurant and maybe trying some totally different dish or cuisine, or it's traveling across the world. I feel like either way, you guys both are kind of bold and open, and you guys bring that out in each other as well. And also that heat and passion that you see with Sagittarius and all the fire signs, where there's a lot of chemistry, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of interest that you have with each other. And again, this person just being extremely sexually attracted to you. Then we have Saturn, and Saturn, of course, rules over Capricorn, the 10th house of career. I feel like this person is highly ambitious when it comes to their career, and maybe their career occupies a major part of their life. They may be set on a very strict schedule with like having to do things when it comes to their career, having to, you know, go to certain meetings at certain times, or having that set schedule where every Tuesday, I'm in this meeting at this time, blah, blah, blah. I feel like their career really matters to them. Their reputation matters to them. And another thing with that is the 10th house of reputation and public honors. I feel like they are really honored to be with you, and they want to show you off. Like they're very proud of you. They want everyone to know that you guys are together, and there's definitely no shame or no level of trying to hide you, in case that's ever happened in past relationships. I feel like this person doesn't do that. Then we also have Taurus, which is, again, the 2nd house of earned income. So we have a lot of the career houses highlighted. The 2nd house is how you earn your money on your own, not money you get from other people. And it's also the builder. And it's also very romantic, and often demonstrates their love with material goods or being generous or doing things for people. And I feel like this person is definitely going to want to do that for you. Like they want to take care of you. They want to show you what they can do. They want to show you about the value they can bring to your life. And they may be very romantic in that way, wanting to spoil you, wanting to take care of you, and wanting to show you their love by giving you beautiful things, or by taking you to beautiful places, beautiful experiences, and being, like I said, quite generous with you. So yeah, that is what I have for you, pile number 3. I really hope it resonates. If it does, let me know down in the comments. I always love hearing from you, so I'd love to know your thoughts. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon. I just posted 2 spicy, fun readings, one about what makes you sexy, the other is about what people fantasize about you, and there's also a reading all about what you're carrying from past lifetimes. But there are so many different readings. There are love readings, career readings, money readings, spirituality readings, family, friend readings. There are past life readings, future life readings, personality readings. I mean, there's so many different topics, over 85 exclusive readings you'll only get access to on Patreon. You also get early and ad-free access to all my YouTube videos. So if you're interested and that sounds good to you, then be sure to head to my Patreon. The link for that is in my description, or yeah, also underneath the comments, underneath the timestamps in the comments. And I would love to have you join us on Patreon. Also, if you're interested in booking a private session with me, you can do that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. Whether you want to book a half-hour reading, a full hour-long reading, whether you want to book a tarot reading, a channeling session, an astrology reading, whether you want it to be pre-recorded, live, there's so many different options for you to customize your reading, make it the right reading for you. If you're interested in a session with me, like I said, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com. Link for that is in my description. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very, very soon in another reading. Take care, guys, and I will see you then. Bye. Hey Pile 4, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards and see what you can expect with your next relationship. What can Pile number 4 expect when it comes to their next relationship? So we have the 9 of Swords, okay? What can Pile 4 expect when it comes to their next relationship? The 7 of Wands, okay? The Ace of Pentacles, and I think that was reversed. Feeling like you might already know this person. Like I'm seeing like a friend, or even like one of your friend's brothers or something like that. Justice card reversed. 10 of Pentacles reversed. What can you tell me about Pile number 4's next relationship? I feel like if you don't know this person, like their energy is very familiar to you. Either you already know them on the astral plane, or when you guys meet, you'll just have so much in common that it'll be like, oh my God, how did we not know each other? Or how did we not meet before? Like this person, maybe it's like they feel like a brother to you. You know, I find that sometimes with any past life connections, people that you might have South Node aspects to, Saturnian aspects with, it can feel like a sibling, because I know that's weird because you're dating them and you're like, why would you want to date a sibling? And I get that, but it's like that closeness you get when you have a sibling where you know each other's synchronicities and weird, or I shouldn't say synchronicities, I should say idiosyncrasies. You know, all their little weird quirks, you know, that they, you know, always need to have the grape jelly when they're making a peanut butter and jelly. No strawberry jam, no other flavor. It's got to be grape jelly. And you know all their little details like that just so intimately because they're your sibling and you like grew up with them. And often people with like South Node connections or past life connections, they feel that way because you already know their energy. There's not like that awkward getting to know each other period where you don't really know about them and you're kind of learning. It's like you already know them like the back of your hand. So you kind of can go from 0 to 60 in terms of intimacy. And I feel like with this person, they feel very close. So I almost feel like this person, again, could be a soulmate, could be a past life connection, and is someone that I feel like really matters to you, or someone that you almost like get along right away, like a house on fire. Like you guys might just be very quirky, loving to laugh together, loving to have fun together. I do feel like this person could be immature at times. And this is what can happen sometimes with a past life twin flame soulmate vibe, is like you bring out the lower vibrational past life energies. You know, South Node aspects definitely can bring out stuff that we did in past lifetimes that we're actually trying to leave behind in this lifetime. So it's not necessarily our best qualities. Sometimes it can be our lower vibrational or more immature qualities. And I feel like this person at times can be kind of immature and can kind of have a way of dealing with things that maybe is frustrating to you, and vice versa. Even like sometimes it may feel like you guys are speaking two totally different languages, you know, like you think that you guys need to get to bed early and this person really wants to stay up super late, and you're frustrated with that, and like there's things that need to be kind of talked through and worked out. I feel like there's also an element of karma in this with the Justice card reverse coming in. Again, that could be Saturnian connections, and in like Vedic astrology, they do believe that like often your husband or your wife can be a past life enemy, and that's why you are forced to marry them in this lifetime, is because that's why so many people who are married will hate their partner, or they'll fight all the time because it's literally an enemy from a past life. I'm not saying that's the case, but I think sometimes with these intense twin flame relationships, it can definitely feel like that. I also feel like this person, yeah, they feel to me very ambitious, and they kind of are a little, they're very bold. They're giving me like a feisty energy. I feel like sometimes they can be kind of stubborn and set in their ways, I'm not gonna lie. And sometimes it may be hard for you to like get through to them. But I feel like when things are good between you guys, they're so good. Like they're really amazing and you guys get along so, so well. I also feel, I honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like for some of you guys who picked this pile, the message could also be that you may be single for a while. Not to make anyone sad if they were like, oh, I want a relationship right away, and that's why I'm watching it. And take what resonates, leave the rest, because it is a general reading. So not every message is going to be for you. I'm just saying, if you pick this pile and you're feeling like, I don't know if I'm going to date, or this really doesn't sound like someone I would be interested in, it may be that you guys are the pile that, you know, is actually supposed to be single for a minute, and you're just kind of focusing on yourself, and there's divine timing at play, so you're not ready yet for a relationship. And maybe this is shadow inner work you're doing on yourself. But I feel like there's shadow inner work coming in regardless. So whether it's with this person, whether you're doing it on your own, there is some call to like shadow work, working on yourself, pushing forward, and kind of reinventing yourself and becoming a different version of yourself. I feel like you and this person, things get really deep really fast. Like you guys are gonna maybe talk about each other's families, talk about each other's spiritual beliefs, talk about each other's life goals, but it really feels like you are ready to go there, go deep, get into it. It's not a casual connection. It's not something that, it almost feels like a flame that burns really bright, really fast, and you guys are drawn to each other like magnets, and there may be a lot of passion and a lot of chemistry. We also got a lot of reversals. So when we get a lot of reversals, that can mean a little bit of energy being blocked. For that, we got it with both pentacle cards. So pentacles can show our economic situation. So I'm not gonna lie, for some of you guys, this person may not have as much money as you, or this may be a source of tension in the relationship. They may just be coming from a place of insecurity with themselves, where maybe they're like, yeah, I don't have my finances figured out and it's freaking me out. And, you know, pile number 4 has it all together. Or maybe this is, again, if you pick this and you're like, I think I might be single for a while, it may be showing you that it's worth, if you, especially if you have any like issues with your pentacle energy, and pentacles is planning, Pentacles is like sticking to your commitments. Pentacles is like committing to something and following through. If you have any issues with that, if you're not someone who's the best at like planning and following through and committing and actually doing it, then that could be this person or this relationship kind of touching on that and kind of making you better in that arena, making you become someone who definitely puts more effort into that part of themselves. And if you're going to stay single, maybe this is just an area that you kind of need to fix before you get your person. So it could be that you need to get better at your finances, or at your planning, or at your career, or getting to a better place with just managing that area of your life, so that you're going to be able to join someone more. Although I always think you can also work on yourself in a relationship. So to me, it wouldn't be like, oh, this is a deal breaker and just stay single until you fix it, because I think there's also the beauty of being with someone in a relationship and working through and growing with them. So, but take it how it resonates, leave the rest as always. But yeah, I feel like there's almost tension with this person having not fully formed their identity completely. It's almost like they weren't looking for a super serious relationship, or maybe they were looking for something casual, and you kind of came out of the blue and really surprised them. And I feel like for them, they are kind of taken aback and a little bit shocked by the fact that you entered into their life and came in and really like impressed them and like took them by surprise. You know what I mean? I feel like for them, they are weren't necessarily looking for anyone, and they feel a little bit of shock about how drawn they are to you. So there may even be tension, push, pull at first, where they're kind of like maybe runner, chaser, trying to like push this connection away, not sure if they want it, and then eventually realizing I can't run away from my feelings anymore. Like this relationship means so much to me, and I really feel drawn to pile number 4, so I have to pursue it. Let me get some song cards to see what song energies are at play for pile number 4's next relationship. So we got Everlong, Foo Fighters, okay. And we have August, Taylor Swift, Silver Springs, Fleetwood Mac, Bleed to Love Her, Lindsey Buckingham, Nightmare, Miley Cyrus, Digital Love, Daft Punk, I Summon You, Spoon, and let's get one more. Always Be My Baby, Mariah Carey. So yeah, I feel like it's interesting because I feel like there is that Saturn, really strong connection between you guys. And when you see Saturn in a synastry chart, it actually counterintuitively to what a lot of people think, where they're like, oh my God, there's a Saturn synastry connection. Like that's really bad. Actually, it can be really indicative of long-term marriage and a long-term connection, because Saturn is very permanent, and once it commits, it really commits. So it's reminding me though of, that's the thing with Saturn, is it might cause a lot of those problems, and it might be that relationship where you're like, but I can't leave this person, or like I don't even know why I'm in this, but I feel so drawn to them. And I feel like in a way that happens with this person, where maybe they're like, I was not looking for anyone like pile 4, I wasn't wanting that, but like I just feel I feel so powerfully drawn to them. I can't get away from them. I'm so obsessed with them, you know, and I really can't imagine myself with anyone else. So there may even be an attempt to sabotage at some point from either you or them, and kind of like run away or break up or whatever, and then coming back and admitting, like, I can't run away from these feelings. I have to admit them. I have to be honest with myself. And then like coming back into the relationship, I do feel like this relationship, if it does proceed forward, it could be very serious. It could lead to like kids or marriage or something like that, a really long-term connection. And I feel like this person is very like, it is very serious. Once they commit, I feel like they're kind of like really committed. Like they may be hesitant at first or kind of like standoffish at first, but then like once we move past that energy, and once they really decide that they do want to be with you, it's like that's it. It also could be that kind of connection, and maybe some of you guys already met this person, I don't know, because it is giving a little bit of like ex twin flame vibes. But it could be that if you meet them, you also are, and maybe if this is about next, this could be you staying single for a while, you know, before you work through this, or this person just still being really strong in your energy field. But I feel like if you guys do break up, it's like it's going to take a while for them to ever like forget you. Like they will still be thinking of you for a really, really long time, and maybe kind of conjuring you up on the astral plane and having you in their mind. I feel like this person is kind of endlessly fascinated by you, and they may even watch you from afar, or very much hide their intentions when it comes to you, not really be forthright about like how much they like you and how much they are interested, and instead very much kind of like hold themselves at bay and kind of stay in the corner and kind of like watch you from a distance. I feel like they don't want you to know how much they like you, and they are maybe not used to this kind of like power dynamic, where maybe in a lot of their relationships they kind of call the shots, but with you they feel more powerless or something like that. So let me get into some more cards for you. We're going to clear these away and get some more tarot. I love pulling double tarot, because if we get any double cards, then it's a very important card for the reading. So let's see what we get for you. Pile number 4. So we are going to see what cards we get for pile 4 when it comes to their future next relationship. What cards are we going to get for pile 4 for their future next relationship? So this is the 2 of Pentacles, and we got the Death card. I could definitely see this being an X coming through for some of you guys. The Tower card, the Three of Wands. If this is your energy that you feel like it's resonating as you're supposed to stay single, again, there could be that message that like they're very proud of you for doing spiritual work, and you really are doing a lot of amazing work, and they're really proud of like the forward momentum you've made. And it's just kind of like that encouragement to stay on that path, to continue doing the work, to continue moving forward, and that you're going to be really happy and pleased with the outcome. So we got the Magician, we got the Five of Cups, and we got the Six of Cups. So we do have some sad cards, the Death card, the Tower card, the Five of Cups. It's not all just super happy cards. And again, if this is an X, they could be coming through as well to take over the reading, which I know you guys get so annoyed when that happens. I feel like this person is saying that they are sad and they're sad for their dysfunctional behavior. If this is resonating as an X, I'm not saying it's an X for all of you guys, but for some of you guys, this may be an X that wants to kind of like make their intentions known and kind of like is still in your energy fields. And I know that can be frustrating, but I have to just channel whatever's coming through. If this is a new future relationship, it could be that the person really is growing, learning, and changing when it comes to you. And you're really encouraging them to let go of those past patterns and to let go of even like stuff from old lifetimes and old behaviors that aren't serving them anymore. I feel like as well, if this is an X, this person, you may have inspired them to do that soul work and to really look inside their heart and to really make those changes and transform themselves and to make different plans and to kind of like step into a different energy that maybe they didn't really feel comfortable with before. Maybe they didn't really know if they could do this or know if they were capable of growing so much. And I feel like you have shown them that path. And in a way, I feel like their higher self is coming through as very, very grateful to you for doing that and for kind of ushering them forward. If this is a new relationship, then I feel like there's growth that's happening for both of you at the same time. And both of you guys are going to kind of maybe open up and see each other's traumas. It may be one of those relationships where immediately you guys are sharing your fears, your traumas, family issues. Things get really deep really fast. You guys are able to really know each other on a deeper level than most relationships will ever go to. And it may even be that there's like some kind of a hardship or sorrow that happens right away when you guys start dating that really binds you guys together and makes you a lot closer than most relationships will go to. Either way, it feels like there's so much growth and a lot of mutual support that happens with each other, whether this is a connection that is active or is in the future or is maybe at this point just happening on the astral plane. It feels like you guys both lend each other with a huge amount of support. You guys both connect with each other and are really genuinely cheering each other on and wanting each other's success. And so, yeah, that's a beautiful part of this relationship. Let's get into some of these cards for you. Pile number 4. What cards can we get for pile number 4's future relationship? So Gentle Gardener. That card is all about spirit and spirit's role in our life, and that spirit is taking care of things. So again, this could be a very fated connection that is divinely ordained and is supposed to happen to make you guys both grow. And maybe it's something you signed up for on the astral plane of like, I want to meet that person. I want to finish out this unfinished business. Bone Collector as well is a card that can talk about, again, past traumas and issues that hold us back. Sometimes we have a lot of issues that are like in our subconscious and are kind of like forcing our life in one direction, maybe bad habits, maybe fears, maybe traumas of any kind, and they kind of get inside our head and just sit there and stew there, and it's like dysfunctional patterns. It's almost like, have you ever gotten into a bad sleep cycle where you stay up one night too late till like 3 a.m. and then you sleep until, I don't know, 11 a.m. the next day or noon or something. And then it's like you can't get back on the right sleep schedule and you keep trying to go back to bed at 9 p.m. But now your sleep is adjusted and now you just naturally get tired at 3 a.m. and it's like, feels like it's impossible to get back to that 9 p.m. schedule and you're super tired, but you know, whatever. And it's kind of like that can happen to us in life, right? Like we pick up these negative habits or we pick up these ways of acting and we don't even realize how deep it is in our subconscious and how much it's holding us back from what we want. And this is why these past life connections can kind of come in, and the purpose of them can sometimes be to wake us up or to make us aware of that. And so sometimes those relationships that come in and they do have conflict or they do have arguments or they just trigger us and like upset us, and we just feel, you know, upset all the time or bothered by the person, or we really find ourselves getting really emotional and like our emotions are just so wrought up with this person. It's not always a bad thing. Sometimes that is pointing a shadow or pointing a flashlight, putting a light on the areas of our life that are dysfunctional, that we do need to address, that maybe we do need to fix or go back and try to change. And I feel like for you guys, this is coming in just to kind of tell you like, hey, listen, you're able to fix this. This person may know a younger version of you from other lifetimes, and they might be able to say like, hey, you don't need to stay in this dysfunction you've been in, and listen, we can fix this too. Or this may be soul work you're doing for yourself that's going to prepare you to align with a soulmate later. But I feel like this person and you are, it's a very fated connection. It's something that you're going to be very grateful for at the end of your life, and you feel very like drawn to this person. They feel very drawn to you. Let's get some more cards for you. Pile number 4. Let's see. This one says ride the wave, home, and let's get one more. Spark. And there is definitely a lot of spark and chemistry between you guys. I also feel like the ride the wave card is that sign that, you know, sometimes when a situation feels karmic or is just very intense and really is pushing us out of our comfort zone, there can be this desire to like escape it and kind of run away. Like, oh, I'm tired of these emotions. I'm tired of feeling this much. Let me go back to just a regular schmegular, you know, relationship that doesn't trigger me all the time. It's maybe more peaceful. Maybe I can just chill and that person, you know, doesn't push my buttons to the same extent. And so there can be almost this desire to go back to just a normal relationship instead of this soulmate intensity that we feel with this person and the way they just get under our skin, trigger us, get our emotions overwrought. And I feel like for you, your message is to really stay present in the current moment and not run away and not push this person away, but to really allow things to play out and be whatever they're going to be instead of trying to run or trying to keep your emotions safe. I think sometimes that's what it is we're trying to keep ourselves safe. So we're like, oh, I'm going to get my heart broken. Let me sabotage it now. Let me rip the Band-Aid off now. And it's actually a lot harder to just stay present and to admit that, yeah, this is difficult. And yeah, I do feel out of my depth. And yeah, I am feeling really vulnerable with this person, but you know, I really love them. So I have to kind of give it a shot. And I feel like that's what you're being called to do with this person. This may be a very intense relationship, but also sometimes we gotta like play it through to the end, you know. Let's get some more cards for you. Pile number 4. What is going to be happening with pile number 4's future relationship, their next relationship? What's going to be happening with pile number 4's next relationship? Okay, we just got Joyful Muse, Inspiration. This card fell on the floor. It is the Wall, Obstacles. So yeah, I'm not surprised we got that card. There seems like there could be a lot of obstacles with this relationship. It definitely feels like one of those relationships where you really have to dig deep and things just aren't made to be easy. Again, I'm feeling that heavy Saturnian connection with this relationship. It feels like there's a lot kind of holding you guys apart, but also a lot holding you guys together. It's almost like you have a lot of forces opposing you, but you also have so much love and so much of a depth of connection and so much reason why both of you guys want to push through and give it your all. We did get Heart, Home, Compassion. So there's so much love here, and that's coming out over Garden of Venus. So I really feel like there's a really deep depth of love and depth of kind of like regard and care and affection that you guys have for each other. And with this deep, quiet, straddling worlds card, I also feel like this is a deep connection on the astral plane. Like you guys really feel like your souls know each other. Your souls are so intertwined, and almost like anything that could stand in the way of this could never actually last against the power of your connection and against how much you guys mutually do admire, love, and respect each other. And it feels like even if you try to run away, like these feelings are too strong that they're just gonna eventually have to come back. Let's get some astrology dice for you. Pile number 4, what astrology placements are at play for pile 4? So we got the 6th house, aka Virgo. We got Mercury rituals over Gemini and Virgo, and we have a Scorpio. So let's start reading it left to right. We have Virgo. Virgo is where Venus is debilitated. Virgo can be very perfectionistic and likes to have things done right, and likes to kind of have a level of predictability, a level of order, a level of knowing what to expect. It doesn't really love surprises. And again, I feel like that's what's challenging about this connection, is it feels like it comes out of nowhere. Like it feels like it's just such a surprise, and it feels very unpredictable and kind of out of control. It doesn't feel like it's a safe, you know, I know exactly what to expect. It feels like it's like kind of frenetic and chaotic and very unplanned and very like, to a certain extent, out of control, like a fire burning out of control. And I feel like there may be some resistance to that, and there may be some like craving to just go back into that Virgo predictability. But also Virgo is a healer, so it's also how we can heal ourselves, heal others. And I feel like you're really doing a lot of healing through this connection, and it really helps you both to resonate more with like your deeper, highest version of yourself. Then we have Mercury, and that rules over Virgo and Gemini. And so we'll talk about Gemini since we already talked about Virgo. So with Gemini, I feel like a lot of you guys are learning with this person to communicate and to be more honest about your feelings. Both of you guys are learning to communicate more and not to run away from your feelings as much, but to be willing to like hash it out, say how you're feeling, and be the one to not be afraid. Like I think there's so much bravery. It's such a amazing thing to be the one who is willing to say their feelings, because so many people, they have these feelings but they hold them inside, they never say them, they run away from them, and that's actually really cowardly. And I feel like there's something so bold and so respectful and like amazing about those people who are brave enough to just say it, just send the text, send the love letter, voice it, whatever. And yeah, that's like an amazing quality to have. Then we also have Scorpio, and Scorpio is definitely our traumas. It's the 8th house of trauma and secrets, and it's really what we have to work through in order to alchemize. And that's why there's all these different octaves to Scorpio, 3 different levels, and then finally culminating in the phoenix rising from the ashes, and this powerful moment of transformation and transcendence of pain. So we can only get to that when we are willing to confront those harder parts of life, the difficult feelings, the hard emotions, when we're willing to be honest, when we're willing to take a hard look at things and really examine that. That's why Scorpio also rules like plumbing. It's because it's literally those kind of nasty things that no one else wants to deal with, but Scorpio will deal with it. And so again, and actually Virgo deals with that as well. Virgo deals with the intestines. So they're both kind of these waste disposal things, and Scorpio and Virgo both have that in common. That's why they have kind of similar signs. And yeah, like the appearance of their signs, symbols, I should say. But yeah, so I feel like with Scorpio and Virgo coming out together again, this is like really doing that deep processing, taking a hard look at things that maybe seem painful. Maybe you don't really want to look at them. Maybe you don't really want to deal with them, but this is forcing yourself to do that and really coming out so much stronger after you do. So yeah, that is what I have for you. Pile 4. I know it probably wasn't what you expected, but I truly hope it resonated, and I have to always bring through the messages I'm getting. So I hope it gave you some information, and please let me know if it did. I really love hearing from you guys, and I would love to know about this pile. I'm curious. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you want to see more of my content, head on over to my Patreon where I post all my additional readings. Just posted a reading all about what makes you sexy, what people are fantasizing about you, 2 very spicy, fun, sexy readings, and then also a spiritual reading all about what you're carrying from past lifetimes that might be very relevant to you guys. But there are over 85 exclusive readings you'll only get access to on Patreon. There's love readings, career readings, money readings, spirituality readings, personality readings, every topic under the sun we try to cover. So if that sounds good to you and you're interested in signing up, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description and join me on Patreon. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but you also get early access to my YouTube videos over there. So yeah, anyway. Also, if you would like to book a private session with me, you can do that via my website, briarrosetarot.com, whether you want a half-hour session, full hour-long session, tarot, astrology, channeling, whether you want me to do a pre-recorded reading for you or a live session, you get to really choose from a lot of different options to customize your reading so that it's right for you. So if that sounds good to you and you're interested in booking a slot with me, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link for that is in my description. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you again very soon in another reading. Take care, guys. Bye.